just remember this. You have a goal. That's the beginning, really, of any business plan, is to know what it is you want to accomplish. Um, it's different from a wish. A goal is way different from a wish. It's way different from a hope or a dream or an expectation. And you know that. Floyd's taught us that. Goals have to be specific and measurable and have a deadline next year, January 1 through December 31. Here's what I want to accomplish. Specific, measurable, and with a deadline, and visualized. And today, a goal has to have a plan, because without a plan of action, it's just a wish. You remember wishes, right? Close your eyes, make a wish, and don't tell anybody or it won't come true. Yeah, I want you to tell everybody what your goal is. Yes, make it public. The first tool that we give to all of our students is called the Focus Organizer. This is something that Floyd created years ago, and we update it every year. We give everybody a fresh copy every year, and it begins with goal setting. So you see there's a goal checklist on it, there's a purpose, there's an annual financial goal. I'm going to talk about those things in just a minute. Just want you to know, if you'd like a copy of the Focus Organizer, it's a 4-page document, a portable business plan to carry around. It'll be in the chat room. You can also send an email to info@floydwickman.com, and you will get your copy of the Focus Organizer emailed to you. Annual financial goal. That's where we're going to start from January 1 to December 31. What do you want to earn from real estate? Now, it's pretty easy to figure that out. Here's what you do. First of all, you take what you need. How much do I need to survive? And then you add to that what you want. What do you want for vacations? What do you want for spending, for fun? And you also want to take into account savings. That's like a cash reserve, how you're going to pay your taxes, what you're going to do to fund your retirement. You add all those numbers up for next year, and that's how you get your income goal. Then the Focus Organizer says, take a look at your goal. Go ahead, take a look at it, that big number, and you got to answer this question. Why is achieving that number, why is earning that income important to me? And you write that down on line 1 of the purpose. And once you've written that answer down, you write, and why is that important to me, on line 2. And then on line 3, the same question and the same, and by the time you get to number 5, that's what we call the nitty and the gritty. That means here deep down is what really drives you. And purpose and goal together become unstoppable. You want to dig deep about why is it important to you to earn that income? Because if it's not, if it doesn't serve your purpose in life, then you're going to self-sabotage. You're going to work at cross purposes. That's what they call it, cross purposes. And I've seen a lot of people who have lofty income goals, but it doesn't serve their life purpose. And so they never hit them. So you want to do a little reflection. That's why I said set the time aside and do that. Find your purpose and make sure it's congruent. That means agreeable with your goal. Then you take that annual income that you desire, and here's what we're going to do next. We are going to analyze that income and figure out where it comes from. It begins with, okay, how many closings does it take to earn that income? That should be an easy math problem for you. Let's say your income goal is $120,000 and your average commission check is about $4,000. Well, that's pretty easy math. 30, that's how many closings you need. Now, what if your answer to this question is, I don't know? What's my average commission per closing? And your answer is, I don't know. Or it's, I haven't had any closings yet. How could I know that? Well, take a look around. Ask your broker. Do a little research. You'll figure it out. And then we are going to take, don't get ahead of me. Then we're going to take that number of closings and figure out, okay, how many pendings do I have to put together to have that many closings? Because that's going to tell you what your fall through ratio is. Now, why is it important to know your fall through ratio? Because you're going to have some, right? That's nothing is perfect. There's no, have you noticed this? The more deals you do, the more problems you have. Yeah. I mean, finding a buyer is easy today. Getting it closed sometimes is the death march to Bataan. So that's an obscure World War II reference. Yeah, that's why you need those systems in place. But here's the big reason. If you build in from history a certain percentage of your pendings to fall through, then when they do, and you're prepared for it, they don't hurt so much. So you know some are not going to close. You build that into your plan. And then you take a look at the ratio of my closings, how many are buyer sales and how many are listing sales. Buyer sides, listing sides. Because from that, you're going to figure out, okay, if I need 20 sold listings to close, how many listings do I have to get? I don't think you ever have to worry about where the buyers come from if you're a good listing agent. But Mike, what? I'm not a good listing agent. Well, then get Wickmanized and you will be a good listing agent. Follow Floyd's business plan. Starting every Monday, work on bringing in a saleable listing first and don't work on anything else starting every Monday. Yes. So if you get 20 listings that sell, how many people will buy a house from you? Half of them? Yeah, there's your 30 closings right there. You don't have to worry about where the buyers come from if you focus on the listings. And by focusing on the listings, I mean, okay, how many appointments do I have to go on to get that many listings? There again, you need to know your numbers and your ratios. Do your analysis of your activity and results from previous years so you know what your numbers are. It's easy to figure them out. Now, once you know your ratios, then you take a look at, okay, where did my business come from this last year or 2 or 3 or 20, depending on how long you've been in business? In other words, sources of listings. And from that, what did I spend to get those sources to raise their hand and say, we're thinking of selling? And from that, you figure out what's my return on investment. Yep. Part of your business plan, you want to do an analysis of your sources of business. What are you going to keep doing? What are you going to stop doing? Because once you do your return on investment analysis, then you know, here's what's working and here's what isn't. 2 years ago, when Anna joined us as marketing director, she said, do you know you guys have a subscription renewing every year for blah, 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 whatever it was? And I said, yeah, we haven't used that in 8 years. She saved us a lot of money by taking a look at what we were doing automatically and didn't have to do anymore, weren't using anymore. Do a little analysis, do some research on your business. What are you spending your money on? Is it working? And then you'll focus on taking that annual goal and converting it down to one trackable, measurable, doable activity that leads to listings. Now, that could be conversations. It could be leads generated. It could be appointments scheduled. It could be number of hours devoted to door knocking or networking or calling. Whatever it is, it's easy to manage activity. It's not so much easy to manage dollar volume. And of course, Peter Drucker, the great management guru, said, if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. So that's what we're going to do first. We're going to do the analysis of our business, put our purpose on paper, and come up with that income goal. So everything is one piece. That's the analysis, the purpose, and the goal. Those are the first three essential ingredients of your business plan. And here's the fourth, is what's the activity that you are going to track, that you're going to do, that you're going to measure. Let's say I have decided to get my 30 closings, I need 20 sold listings. To get 20 sold listings, I need to get 40 listings. Maybe I'm in a slow market. To get 40 listings, I need to go on 90 listing appointments. I'm going to work 45 weeks next year, so I got to do 2 listing appointments a week. How do I do that? Well, I look back at my numbers and I can see every time I have 9 conversations, I end up with 1 listing appointment, 9 prospecting, real estate, qualifying conversations. So how long does it take me to do 9 conversations? About 90 minutes. So I got to schedule and do 2 90-minute prospecting sessions a week to come away with 2 listing appointments a week, so that I get 90 appointments, 40 listings, 20 of them sell and close, and I get 10 buyers from that. And once you know that, it's easy to manage those 2 90-minute prospecting sessions a week, because that's what we got to do, manage ourselves. And if you chart it, if you make it public, if you put it on paper or on the whiteboard or on your computer or on your phone, then it's easier to stay on track, because what you've done is you've created measurable progress. And that's the experience of measurable progress is the key to staying motivated, staying on track, staying on task. So that's the first tool that you need to put your business plan together. It's called the Focus Organizer. And you notice that thing LFTs down there? That's the second tool we're going to share with you. It's the Year at a Glance calendar. You can get your Year at a Glance calendar in the chat room, or you can get it by emailing info@floydwickman.com. But you want to take a whole year and look at it. 2020 at a glance, fly up in the air, get that long-range perspective, that bird's eye view. And here's what you do on your Year at a Glance calendar. By the way, you do this with the other people that matter to you. The first thing you do is you put your marketing system in place. What are you going to do to mail, call, see? What Floyd taught us to do with the book of business. You mail something every month to your 200 best referral sources. You call them 3 times a year, and you go see them once a year. When are you going to do that? What are you going to do for your see, and when? When are you going to call? And when are you going to mail? And what are you going to do for your mail? And all of that you can put on this calendar and carry it around with you. Here's what it looks like in real life. Yep, it's on 11 by 17, heavy cardstock. It's a really important document for you to have. Then with the people who matter to you, you schedule your vacations. They need that, you need that. Light at the end of the tunnel. You put in the dates for Master Sales Academy, where you're going to go away for 2 days, work on your business. That's June 1st and 2nd, Covington, Kentucky, Cincinnati, Ohio, right on the river. And then the Business Breakthrough, 2 days for business planning in November next year. And then you put January 1, a great big circle around January 1, because what are you going to do January 1st? Yep, that's right. You're going to sit down with every single expired listing in your market and get something out to them, because there's a whole bunch of listings expiring December 31st. January 1, you want to hop on it. Get that marketing system working on your expireds as well. Now, here's the real key question. How do I do all of this? Well, I've got 2 resources for you. One is the live stream program, You don't have to go anywhere. You can do it at home. It's 90 minutes, 1 day a week, starting Thursday, February 6th. That's the Floyd Wickman program live online. Or you could join R Squared Coaching, or you could do both. R Squared Coaching starts the first Friday in January. It's $165 a month, 6-month commitment, and you will stay on track. That's kind of an unbeatable combination. More information about all of that is at floydwickman.com. If you want a copy of this webinar or the Focus Organizer, the Year at a Glance calendar, go to info@floydwickman.com or go to the chat room here. And our 20 minutes is up, but if you give me an extra couple of minutes, I wanted to share with you a little poem I wrote this past week called Christmas Open House. I hope you enjoy it. 'Twas the week before Christmas at my open house. Not a buyer was showing, with or without spouse. The open house signs were all lining the street as I sat all alone with no one to greet. My sellers were sunning themselves in Cancun, while my next vacation wasn't till June. There just didn't seem to be any reason or rhyme, and I feared this would be just a big waste of time. When out in the driveway, I heard 2 doors slam. Now, don't get your hopes up. It might be a scam. But a real cute young couple walked in the front door and started looking around from ceiling to floor. I welcomed them warmly, and at their reply said, "What was it about this house that caught your eye?" "Oh, we just started looking. We haven't seen much. Our real estate agent said he'd keep in touch." "Oh, who are you working with helping you find? Maybe I know him if you don't mind." We called BS Realty. His name was Bob Sly. He's texting the houses for us to drive by." So you haven't actually sat down with him. Without being qualified, chances are slim. You could be looking forever and ever. And finding the house of your dreams, well, never. But it's easy to fix all the possible flaws when your rights are protected by agency laws. It felt like these buyers must be heaven sent when I asked, "Do you own or do you folks just rent?" "Oh, we own a home, but it's gotten too small. We're expecting identical twins in the fall." "Congratulations," I said. "And if I may be so bold, I'm guessing your house must already be sold." "No, it's not," said the couple. "As a matter of fact, it's not on the market and we haven't packed. We thought we should buy one before we sell ours to avoid being homeless out under the stars." I explained what could happen if they bought one first, and to hope for the best but prepare for the worst. You'll pay more for your purchase and get less when you sell, and be under pressure on both deals as well. They looked at each other and said, "OMG, can you help us avoid such a tragedy? Let's get together." And to my surprise, they said, "That's great advice. You are very wise. Come list our house first. Here's the address. We hope you don't mind that it's kind of a mess." And we heard them exclaim as they drove out of sight, "We're so glad you were open. We'll see you tonight." Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks for joining us.